Next is to add sprites. First, select sprite type 1 and rename sprite type as Ray from Properties. Next, to add images to this sprite type, click the box below the picture list and select ray.png. Now select the add button. Now click on sprite 1 and see the ray.png image we have added has been automatically added to sprite 1. I will rename this sprite as Ray of Light. These images take some time to load, so the image may not be displayed in the added sprite. Next, from the properties of this sprite, values are given as 145 for X position, 442 for Y position, 10 for height and 22 to width. Okay. Now I need to add another sprite type. For that, let's click the Add Sprite Type button under the Sprite class. Look, the newly added sprite type is displayed like this in the box showing the components. I rename this sprite type as Sprite Markings. Here too, click on the box under the picture list and add the marking sp.png image. We have not added sprites to this sprite type yet. Let's add sprites now. I drag the sprite markings block under the sprite class into the screen like this. Okay. Now a sprite was created like this. I click the rename button in properties and rename this sprite as Sprite Marking LS. Next, you need to add the picture for this sprite. Here the image we provided for the sprite type has been automatically added. The X position is given as 97 and the Y position is given as 334. Next, 7 is given for height and 109 is given for width. Add another sprite in the same way. Once again, I drag the sprite markings block under the sprite class into the screen like this. Now another sprite was created in this way. I click the rename button in properties and rename this sprite as Sprite Marking LM. Next, you need to add the picture for this sprite. Here too, the image we provided for the sprite type has been added automatically. The X position is given as 97 and the Y position is given as 184. Next, 7 is given as before for height and 109 is given for width. Now, 2 sprites have been added for sprite markings. You need to add one more sprite. I again drag the sprite markings block under sprite class into the screen like this. Now another sprite was created in this way. I click the rename button in the properties here. Rename this sprite as Sprite Marking LY. The image we provided for the sprite type is automatically added to this sprite. Here also, X position is given as 97 and Y position is given as 1.25. Next, let's give 7 as before for height and 109 for width. Okay, now we are done adding these 3 sprites to the sprite markings.